Who's casting? I'm casting. How's it going, everybody? Season 3, Week 12, Echo Arena VRML. We've got Entropy heading up against Talos here. Hello, welcome one, welcome all. And what a game we have in store for us today. My name is PAMWOW. We've got Punda in the booth along with me and KitKatastrophe on the cam. So Punda, how you feeling? How you feeling about this game, mate?
Pretty good. I'm excited to see how this game goes. I feel like it'll be a nice close one. Hopefully we'll get some round 3 in it.
Yep, hopefully so, and hopefully these teams will be readying up soon. I'm pretty sure this will not be a 5v4, so maybe you never know. Actually, it is an OCE game, and we tend to do things out of the ordinary here. So maybe a 5v4, you never know. But all good in the chat, all hellos in the chat. Wixkong, OCE, Patty with that hello. So yeah, hello, welcome all. Cosmo earlier in the chat, as well as OSX. So yeah, huge shout out to all the boys, whether you're watching or not, whether you're enjoying a YouTube video, whatever you're doing, tune into this one, because we got a lot of stuff heading up our way. I mean, Talos and Entropy, they've had quite a bit of history. I mean, Entropy are definitely taking the last 2 wins away from Talos, but I mean, Talos, what a way to show improvement from their earlier game in March to their later game in April. I just... From 5 points to 25, heading up to 23 to 25 in total, that is. I believe they took that recent game to the 3rd round. So, yeah, I mean, in terms of improvement, Talos have definitely been showing it. And Entropy just holding on as well. So, a lot of potential within this game heading up our way, Entropy and Talos. So, yeah, a lot of good stuff, possibly. And I'm definitely excited to be back on it. I mean, you know, when the going gets tough gets going. So, yeah, you know, outside stuff, uni, ill, who wants to talk about that? But, yeah, you know, been giving myself a bit busy here and there. So, you know, always great to head back on the cast, and such a great game, such a great place to watch. So, yeah, always good to be back here. Although I might need a bit of a warm up here. So, if this is what serves at it, then I'm more than happy to do that.
Yeah, it's definitely good to see, you know, casting again. It's been some time since we've seen the wonderful PAMWOW.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I know, I'm excited to be back as well. Wixkong is excited as well to watch the game, so huge shout outs there. But yeah, I mean, taking a look at these OCE games, there's definitely something that it definitely brings something different to the viewer. I mean, you look at the North American games or European games, and it's kind of like they all have their own themes. You know, European is always about speed with those regrabs, and you're going to expect it heading into those games. Same thing with NA. You already know they're going to be passing their way all the way up and down throughout the field, and you expect it. But with the Oceanic region, and I mean this in no negative way whatsoever, if anything, it's a positive way. You don't know what you're going to see. You don't know what you're going to get. It's basically crazy. It's basically a huge sorts of randomness, and that's pretty much what makes it my favorite region to cast over. Don't clip that and send it to the other regions, because they might get mad at me. But you know what? It's me home. It's me home. It's me home region. So I'm still yet to become used to watching some of those the Japan region games, you know, the Asian region. But I'm sure that they would bring their own type of spice to the game as well. So a lot of variety that this game can bring to the viewer. So yeah, a lot of good stuff. But I believe teams might be readying up now, Entropy and Talos. So yeah, we got that heading up in our way. I'm pretty sure they're readying up. Yeah, that should be good. So we're going to be heading into the game relatively soon. But yeah, what a game. And even looking in the chat here, Patty, and how's it going, PAMWOW? I'm going pretty good, Patty. How you going? We got too many P's here. Patty, PAMWOW, Punda, KitKatastrophe. I made that one up. I was joking. It's okay. I couldn't think of anything on the spot. KitKatastrophe. You know what? Who cares? Too many P's, but I'm all G's.
I was about to go to pish wish woon pish nishgu in chat. No.
Pish. Someone get him in the... That's just... Okay. Look, I was up for like one tongue twister, and then you've kind of invited just an encyclopedia into the chat. I'm not sure if you're going to get him in the chat or not, but if he does, we will all attempt saying that out loud and failing miserably. But I mean, yeah, both teams, I feel like they've readied up like about 10 times, like one at a time, but they've never done it at the same time. It's kind of weird. I feel like It's like, no, you go first. No, you. No, me. No, it's just a bit of an argument that they're having here. I think they might be doing it now, though. So, surely, yep, they're readying up. All right, here we go. Entropy heading up against Talos. Yeah, obviously, Talos have been doing very well in terms of improving, but Entropy still holding that lead above them. So, let's see what they can bring to the table this game, Entropy and Talos.
All right, as we have both teams adjusting out here, it looks like Entropy's going to get there first. As Silent Archer clears that disc down to Spencer, and Spencer's going to go for that one-on-one and instantly just get a goal there within the first 7 seconds of that round.
Yeah, talk about placement there from Spencer, immediately grabbing it and sending it right to the top side of that post. And you definitely have to respect that shot, because it's when you're in the goalie position and you're extending yourself out to that player who is going for a shot. There are only so many shots that can make it into the goal in that situation, and that is one of them. Spencer placing it into the upper post there. So we're going to be having a short timeout here, whether it's ping-related issues or whatever it is, players sorting themselves out here. But, I mean, what an opening there from Spencer. It's almost like they kept the same theme here. Like, they're starting out strong, just like their previous games. They do tend to start out strong, Team Entropy here. So Talos, they do show, however, that Talos are able to like hold on in these type of situations. I mean, if it wasn't evident within the recent game, with a total of 25 to 23, I mean, yeah, Talos definitely show a good mean of holding on into these games. If you want to get into statistics, I mean, their previous game, Entropy and Talos, they went to 3 rounds. It was 9 to 12 in the first round, so Talos actually did take away that first round, and the second coming rounds very close, 7 to 5, 9 to 6. So just because Entropy have taken away these previous 2 rounds, I'm not going to be surprised if we do see Talos heading their way back into the round as they do now with that GS advantage.
And here we have usual so now just trying to get that disc down to Newton Horse. As Newton grabs that disc, gets stunned out by Rocket Chan, I believe. Is Spencer now with the disc. He's going to go for that clear down into the tube there. And just bouncing up into blue territory. As Newton now with that disc once again, he's looking for some plays. As Silent Archer goes up behind him, just gets that stun off him.
And now Silent Archer getting stunned out themselves there now. So usual with Sayo, going to be sending that one throughout the right side tunnel, and Mook's coming in the chat saying, I'm rooting for Entropy. They seem like a powerhouse team. Well, these two teams are relatively close in terms of standings on the ladder, so I wouldn't know who to root in this situation. But with that said, Newton Horse sending a disc in. Chris Custom is going to be sending that one out, but what a save there. Yeah,
great save indeed, as that disc goes flying down into Talos' territory. Is now Newton Horse with the disc here. He's probably going to go for that reset back to R1. Is that disc going to go nice passes back to Newton, and that disc now just going up into the tunnels. There's Rocket Chan now with that disc. It's going to get stunned out by Snicket, but he still gets that disc thrown out as usual. So now he grabs the disc and gets stunned out. The Silent Archer now with that disc going to go for that shot, but Snicket one with a nice save there as he clears that disc downfield.
Yeah, Snicket snagged it and sent it through the mid-side. The regrabs were on target, just a bit of an overshot there, however, so they're not going to be able to grab onto that one. Now, the possible counter-attack, Silent Archer silently creeping towards that right side, sending it to the left shoulder, barely missing the teammate there. Spencer nearly grabbed it off that left shoulder, and now a stun from Newton Horse, followed off with a clear, and now potentially the regrabs from Talos to follow up. They were on target last time, and they will be on target this time, but getting stunned out. Silent Archer doing very well, intercepted by Newton. Newton on the inside bubble. 3 members of Talos trying to converge on that disc, the clear from the right side, and they're trying to force it out here, Entropy.
Yeah, some nice chaos there as the disc just goes bouncing out. As Newton now back in possession of that disc, maybe. Yeah, there we go. Back in possession now as he's going to look around maybe for a pass. He's going to walk in himself. He's not being pressured too much. He's going to go for that pass to Usual. So Usual just misses that catch there as that disc just bounces up after Pac-Man. Maybe an attempted reset there as that bounce of shoulder going to Spencer's hand, but Snicket with a steal. Snicket going for that one-on-one and just getting it from behind.
Yeah, well, you got to love the attempt at the reset there, but just when you're not careful enough with those resets, it's just gonna fall back on you. And Snicket doing very well to find those 2 points on the inside bubble, evening up the score. 6 minutes 50 on the clock. But who cares about that? OSX Vapor in the chat. Help Punda. Check your DMs. Urgent VRML problem. Wow. I don't know. You might want to go ahead and check that one. Cosmo as well in the chat saying, who's camming? That would be KitKatastrophe. Certainly not a catastrophe in terms of camera work. Great job there indeed. And Punda on the mic as well as myself, PAMWOW. I think you already know that, Cosmo, but just for anyone who doesn't, Spencer on the outside bubble, sending it towards the right pole. Rocket Shan will find those 2 points off the right post. And yeah, what a play there. Not sure if Punda was too busy in the DMs with OSX or if he caught that play, but it was a brilliant pass. And yeah, with that said, another just advantage here for Talos. And I mean, talk about holding on. We mentioned it earlier in those previous 2 games. Talos definitely can do it. So as long as they can find their way back into the round, I mean, even keeping it close in general, they can definitely find themselves a few rounds. So now I slap through the mid side, getting cut off there from Chris. Now Chris trying to send it up through the mid side to the teammate, and he's going to avoid that stack from Talos. And now Silent Archer with the disc through the left side does have a teammate with them, so might go for a clear slash follow up with that stack. Going to send it towards the bow tie there, and now getting stunned out. However, Rocket losing that possession. So now really awesome play there. However, Silent Archer might grab onto it.
Yeah, it's just Silent Archer now going to go for that clear downfield or pass to Rocketron. I mean, as Rocketron now goes to that, gets stolen off of by Usual Sale. As Usual Sale now going to look for maybe a clear down or a pass down to one of his teammates. As Silent Archer now the disc going to pass it all the way up and try to take a shot there, but just bounces off shield. As that disc just bounces back to Spencer here. Spencer now with the disc. He's going to maybe go for that one-on-one. Pass it to Sound, but Sound just stunned out. Can't really make that grab. But you know, R1 now with the disc passing Newton now clearing it downfield or into the tunnels here and Chris now intercepts that as Chris gonna pass it up to Sound Archer, and Sound Archer now gonna try pass it to Rocket Chan as Rocket Chan now gonna go for that shot there and putting it right in.
Yeah, I mean, what a great series of plays there. I mean, even from the start, the thing is with those last second passes that they were trying to pull earlier. It's just very difficult to keep track of whether your teammates are stunned or not, especially when they get stunned in the middle of you passing it to them. So there's literally nothing you can do in that situation, except you have to be very concerned on where those defenders are positioning themselves, because as soon as you go for that pass inside the bubble, there's going to be a defender trying to mark that player and trying to stun and find that easy disc, easy clear. But with that said, Talos trying to find a few easy points in the bubbles there. Unfortunately, not able to grab them. And now a counterattack potentially with these regrabs from the mid side. However, Talos will grab onto that disc first. Now, Punta, tell me, was it really that urgent? VRML problem? What happened? Is it serious?
Nah, send him to go to hopefully another moderator who will hopefully respond. So nothing related to this match. So I'm back.
Right. He messaged. He said he's going to message Zeros instead. So yeah, all good. Now with that said, brilliant save from Silent. Snickert's found a few this game. It's been insane to watch. Great plays there from Snickert.
The pass back to R1. Here's R1 now. Gonna go for that pass to Newton, who just misses it. He's gonna go to and get stunned out by Silent Archer. Now Silent Archer now with that disc, gonna perhaps go for a pass to Rocket, or he's gonna go for that one-on-one there again, ducking as well with another player. Great shot there, indeed.
Great shot. Not over yet though. 3 minutes still in the round. Talos, I mean, a 3-pointer, and it's only a 3-point difference. I mean, it's easier to say, but it's not easier to do. So let's just go ahead and see if Talos can exactly do that with this just advantage as they head into the remainder of this first round here. That's going to be usual. Just doing the usual, you know, clearing it, sending it, getting intercepted though. Chris off the bottom trench, sending it through that right tunnel. And now the regrabs will be there from Talos first. However, they're going to be more of a defensive kind of play in terms of regrabs. Really prioritizing getting that goalie inside the goals there, not really trying to grab onto that disc initially. However, they still are creating a lot of pressure here. So now Entropy with the disc. Silent Archer now trying to grab that disc. A bit of a fumble there, as that disc does bounce here and there across the stadium. But now Newton finally grabbing onto that disc, but did not obey Newton's fourth floor, getting stunned out there, getting punished for that. And now Silent Archer slipping it in on the left side of the goal for 2 points.
Yeah, what a nice shot there. There's 10-2 now with Entropy in the lead of 8 points. With just over a minute and a half left, we'll see if Talos can fight their way back into the lead. There's Snicket here now with a disc. Snick gonna look for a pass, maybe a clear. Oh, but was that a headbutt? I'm not sure. But Aaron now with the disc gonna clear that through trench there.
Yeah,
Is
the
that
amount
just
of times, yeah, sorry, the amount of times I've seen plays like that, and I have to question myself whether it's a headbutt or not. I'd be a millionaire if I had $1 for every time I'd seen that. So don't ever feel bad if you can never tell if it's a headbutt or not, because honestly, in Echo, sometimes it's just practically impossible to tell in the moment.
Yeah, things get intense. As Spencer here with that nice slap clear. That this just goes bouncing off trench there. And the regrabs and Sion with that long shot there. Great team play there with that regrab to get that goal.
Yep, and Joker Face in the chat as well. 21 people. Dang. Hey, you were one of them. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for everybody stopping by. So, yeah, with that said, 45 seconds left on the clock. And although Entropy do have this point lead, I mean, Talos, they're still definitely putting in a lot of work here. And it's important to do that because you don't want to let go of that momentum entirely. Because you want to bring something to that second round. So now Sneaker with the disc, trying to make one last final play, sending it towards that midsection, barely missing the teammate there. So now Entropy looking to find a few more points, possibly carry some action towards the second round. A long pass towards the right side, bouncing off the right post, not finding the teammate initially. Rocket standing on that nest, looking for the pass from Spencer. Spencer went to send it up. However, maybe a slip, maybe a stun, whatever it was. Usual has the disc now with 4 seconds left, and he's going to go for a final clear here. Closing out this first round, Entropy will take it.
Yeah, that was a nice, interesting run. 13-2 with Entropy taking that win of 11 points extra, which is a good momentum. We'll see what happens next round. See if Entropy can maintain that momentum into the second round, or if Talos can pull something up and get a win for the second round.
Yeah, a good game so far, as Koala Kid says in the chat there. It has been a good game so far. We've still got another round, or possibly two, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, I mean, although the stats won't show it completely because we had players either not reading or swapping sides, whatever it was, the stats don't show it, but I can basically give you a verbal presentation of these stats. Let's just say that Talos, very good passes, very good clears, and great attempts at following up, just unfortunately unable to execute in some circumstances. Entropy are just not letting go of that pressure. I mean, just forcing themselves on Talos in so many situations, and you can definitely see themselves setting up around the bubble there, so great place from Entropy. Definitely should have a lot of assists there. But yeah, let's talk about saves as well. I mean, if we're shining the spotlight on anything, I believe someone who is not here anymore, who's been replaced, was Snicker. Yeah. That was being replaced by Musco, I believe. So, with that said, just informing the audience of that one. But we're going to be heading into the second round now with Entropy and Talos.
Yeah, it's Entropy here taking that Joust lead there. And Arwen trying to get that clear, but just going over Stan's head is now it's Ray Spencer with that disc getting stunned up by usual sale here. And Newton Horse now going for that disc here, going to grab it, passes over to usual sale as they work out a way to try to get that disc out of their side.
Yep, and now usual Sayer with the disc off the Pac-Man, trying to juke around Entropy. However, you cannot juke Spencer, finding the stun, trying to make his way inside the bubble, getting stolen off of, however, that's going to be R1 trying to find that clear through the right tunnel, and he will find it. However, Chris might be able to grab onto it first. The regrabs the stacks. Talos might be trying to start off strong within this second round. A stun, a Dusty, usual getting stunned out. However, Spencer might try to find the clear here, and indeed they will. So now a follow-up here from Entropy, trying to take advantage with 3 members of Talos, forcing themselves inside the offensive region of Entropy. However, Talos grabbing onto that disc. An unfortunate pass there might result in a swap of possession. However, still able to grab onto it, getting stunned out, however, and Chris will find the clear.
Oh, it's just going back and forth here. Is now Muskoka here. Now whether they're just going to try maybe pass it or clear it up. It ends up in R1's hand, who gets stunned out. Who now Newton's hand, who's going to pass it over to usual Seo. As that disc just keeps bouncing around and trying to find a way into people's hands. Is usual here trying to find a good pass to his teammate. Newton is Newton Horse now with a disc getting stunned out by Silent Archer. Now Entropy going for that clear there as that disc just goes zooming downfield.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that finds the disc difficult to read in some circumstances. I mean, the bounces can be crazy to read, and I don't know. So either teams like Kangaroos, Jokers, whatever, whoever they are, um, they're all, I don't know. They've all studied geometry. I don't know what it is, but they just know where it's going, and it's crazy. With that said, Silent Archer also doing some crazy stuff in the goal with that double ding and double points, 2 of those. So opening up this second round.
Yeah, it's here Talos now with possession here. Is they're gonna boost out? See what happens from there. Looks like Muskoka Bear is gonna grab that disc and clear down trench. And nice jump clear as well, right to Usual. Usual has that 1v1 opportunity. He's going to put that in for maybe a backboard. Oh, just a ding though. Is that disc going to fly back towards Spencer now? And Spencer going to go for that long shot there. But intercepted by Muskoka Bear. That disc going to go fly back downfield there. It's an open goal. You just say, oh, just missing that disc though. He had an open chance there. But now ending up in the hands of R1.
What's crazy to note, though, is how one pass from Talos was able to take their play all the way up to Entropy's bubble on a one-on-one situation, mind you. So maybe that's a message for Talos. I mean, if that certainly didn't prove anything there, it did show how passing can definitely do wonders in this game. So a long pass, a long clear to the trench, and a one-on-one situation for Talos. So maybe they might try a few more of those long passes. I mean, if it worked, then it will work again. So now off the double diamond here, that will be R1 clearing it towards the lower trench. That will be Usual now. Does have teammates above and on the right side trying to find that pass, getting blocked away from that cube there. So now trying to recollect themselves, Talos. It will be Musco trying to grab onto that disc. However, the stacks will be there from Entropy to pressure. They will not find the stun in time. The slap will be there. And Talos trying to force this one out towards that right tunnel, and they will.
Yeah, and a quick shout out to Muskoka Bear for playing some great midfield there, as we've seen many interceptions going his way. As now Newton Horse now looking for a pass. Ooh, just bouncing off Pac-Man. It still ends up in Talos's possession as Muskoka Bear now. Going to move out the field here, looking maybe for a pass. Maybe, not being pressured, he can just walk it in. Summon a shield. You're going to bounce on a Usual Sail. Usual Sail now is going to pass it over to Newton Horse. Newton Horse now going to look for another pass back to Usual Sail and a bit of ping pong here and there. And then now it's going back to Muskoka Bear. They're just playing all these passing plays.
I'm liking this from Talos. Where has this come from? All of a sudden, if it wasn't for that beautiful save there coming from Chris, I mean, what a play there from Talos. They passed their way around members of Entropy and they made their way onto the goals. And that is a picture-perfect play there. I mean, despite the execution, like I mentioned earlier, it's still a great play. Those passes are what you want to see in this game. I mean, they work wonders. They do work wonders. So with that said, great play there from Talos. However, Entropy doing very well. Chris, what a save earlier. Holding on and still only a 2-point lead here. And we're entering the 5-minute mark here. So just half of the round remaining here as the passes come yet again from Talos, and that will be really awesome. Trying to find that pass, and it will. So Newton off the right shield, potentially clearing it towards the left shoulder to snipe, but Chris is on it yet again.
Yeah, Chris doing a lot of saves there. As Talos with a very good offense, but Entropy with a very good defense here. So it's pretty even here as they're both, struggling to get a goal and struggling to get it clear. But here we have now Entropy with a disc. With a disc now. In Talos's side, as things change up now, and tables have turned. Entropy now going for that offensive. Oh, the save.
Yeah, the stuns, the steals all around the bubble there. A lot of action, which is exactly another reason why I love the Oceanic region. You never see this amount of stuns and steals in other regions. Went for potentially a backboard pass there or a shot. Regardless, it might work either way. Rocket went to send that one inside the goals there, getting sent out. However, it will be Spencer now off the roof.
Yeah, and Spencer here going, just juking them all as he's going to go for that shot, and Newton Horse intercepting that. As Silent Archer now the disc again. Going to go for Muskoka Bear with a really nice save there as he's going to clear that disc downfield. But Chris just with some great midfielding there as he just gets that disc around his hands. And the shot from Silent Archer going right in.
Yeah, well, I mean, you mentioned earlier, mid control is so precious. And when what Entropy is doing here, I mean, they're forcing clears from Talos. And as long as you have that member, just like Chris, just waiting for that forced clear, the shots are just going to keep coming. and Entropy do very well in terms of clamping their way onto that bubble there. So with that said, Musco Bear now with the disc clearing it towards that right side, and it will be Chris grabbing a hold of it, trying to send that clear. And yeah, those stats earlier, just wanted to quickly mention, yeah, it's sometimes it can be either a camera problem or a lot of the time, which is what I've found, especially what Palador has found. Whenever there's a player swapping or something along the lines of that, it will just muck around with the stats there. So sorry for those stats in the first round, but you never know. Hopefully, my verbal presentation was good enough. If any case, hopefully this presentation is good for you.
Ooh.
It's a brilliant pass there from Newton to Usual, and Usual placing it in that right side of the goals there. Talos holding on.
A nice goal there. And first 2 points to Talos. With just over 2 minutes remaining, Talos definitely has a chance to get a win here for this round. As Chris now with that disc here, he's going to pass it down to Spencer, but just bounces, has a bit of an unfortunate bounce. As Silent tries to pass it back, but Usual now with the disc going for that clear. They're going to boost to it. Now going for that long shot. Oh! Yeah, it's a great shot now with Talos now in the lead here.
Yeah, nothing usual about that, says me. 3 points. When I mentioned that Talos do very well in terms of holding on, I really meant it. They might be able to take this to the third round if Entropy don't have any say about it. I mean, 1 minute 40 left on the clock here with the Joust advantage, and Entropy have shown that they do create a lot of pressure in some situations. So we might be able to see that here. Silent Archer trying to send that towards the right side off the trench. It will be Spencer. Spencer trying to find that game-saving goal, and Musco Bear with the game-saving save. Clearing it through that mid side, and the regrabs will be there from Entropy. However, they're playing a bit more defensively here, looking for a counter-attack position potentially. However, it will be Newton Horse now with the disc, sending it back, and Talos, they have the point lead, and they're trying to extend it here. However, Chris finding that save, and now comes the counterplay potentially with 1 minute left on the clock. However, the intercept there from Really Awesome, and they're trying to find those last few points to basically confirm this third round. However, unable to nail that angle on the goals there. So now Entropy looking to respond. It will be Silent Archer forcing it out through that mid side.
Yeah, you could definitely tell Entropy is trying to do their best to get that disc down to Talos' side so they can try to score an extra goal. Because one goal will essentially could win them the game. Here as Talos does their best to hold off and waste time here. You can see Usual Sales not being pressured at all. He's like calling people, yeah, come at me, come at me. And they have to pressure. They have nothing else they can do. And then he's going to go for that long clear downfield and ends up in Chris Hudson's hands. Is Chris going to pass it to Silent Archer? Silent going to clear that down field as the passes. There he goes. And Silent now going on that 1v1 here. Oh, the save! The last second save there. As that disc goes downfield. And Spencer now, the disc is going down again. But only 5 seconds remaining. There's nothing much they can do.
You have to go for it.
Round 3.
That will be round 3. I mean, so many close situations there. Musco Bear.
That's save.
Yeah, Muscoco Bear, whatever, however you want to pronounce it, it came in clutch. Definitely came in clutch there. I mean, found 2 saves within those last few minutes there, and those 2 saves just basically bought them that third round. However, the rest of the team of Talos as well, definitely putting in their part there. So, yeah, we're going to be heading into the third round. I mentioned it earlier. If the previous games were a sign of anything or an indication of anything, it was that Talos and Entropy definitely will go back and forth in a lot of these situations. So we will be heading into the third round now. Entropy taking the first, Talos heading back in the second. And yeah, as Paddy says in the chat, a round-winning save there coming from Musco. And although the stats are bugged, and apologize for that, it's definitely it's a thing with player swapping. It's Spark can't handle it sometimes, but you know what? You got good old PAMWOW on the job here yet again. I know, you're welcome. I'm here. It's fine. Snicket is back in the lobby as well, so it will be interesting. Maybe Talos might be going for yet another swap. Maybe it was an internet dropout. Whatever it is, there have been quite a few internet issues circling around in Australia. So maybe potentially Snicket could have been hit by that, but Snicket, he's already out of the lobby, so gave a quick little pep talk there and headed out. So maybe that's exactly what Talos needed. They found that second round and that little pep talk, a little bit of motivation heading their way into the third round. So yeah, Entropy and Talos definitely clash of the teams here.
Yeah,
We do
there's
wait for the
a
third round.
just shout out to the goalies quickly. Muskokabe with 3 saves, and Chris Custom with a whopping 5 saves this game. It's yeah, definitely a good job on them, especially that round-winning save that Muskokabe pulled off earlier
Yeah,
in the final few seconds there. Yeah, it was great stuff. Very intense.
yeah. The thing about those saves, it's like the spotlight is on these players when they find those game-winning saves. But then that spotlight basically blinds you to the other plays that have been happening. I mean, you take a look at the saves from Silent Archer, Spencer. You know, even pretty much all members of Talos have found a save as well, including you know, including Musco. So it definitely goes to show how every player is always definitely putting in a lot of work in this game. So as soon as you remove one player, or you pass around and you basically exclude the opposition with some pass plays, it definitely does show how it can pay off in a lot of situations. I mean, Talos, whatever they ate before that second round started, whatever they drank, whatever they ate,
Maybe
they
it was
definitely
oranges.
yeah, oranges. Yeah,
Yeah.
they had the OG OJ in the quarter. So I mean, I'll take a few of those. Those passes that Talos came up with in that second round was crazy to watch. It was definitely different from the first round. So I mean, keep doing it. If you're listening, tell us. If you're listening to the game right now, although you shouldn't, you should be paying attention to the game. But you could be. You're always welcome to. But seriously, pay attention to the game. But seriously, listen to me. No, pay attention. But
Pay
keep
attention.
up,
Don't listen.
keep that passing up. I mean, it was crazy to watch. And although that play, Chris definitely did well in the goals there to save that play. Talos definitely did well in terms of making the way up to that bubble and giving a one-on-one opportunity. That's what it's all about. That's what the passing pays off as. You see that one-on-one opportunity, and it's like, well, the only thing better than that is the open goal. So yeah, keep it up, Talos. Great stuff there. But as well as that, Slamish in the chat saying, "Grr, why you mad?"
Maybe it's now the game's not starting as we have a pause here. Not sure what team pause, but we're waiting for a pause. So yeah, I guess some waiting time.
Yeah, I mean, some good talking time. Joker face in the chat as well. Basically, I'm not sure if you emphasized him or he emphasized you, but great defense regardless from both sides here. So yeah, even going back on the topic of forcing clears, which we've seen throughout both teams really. When you can create enough pressure, which we have seen throughout this match, you can force a clear, and whether it's Chris in the mid side grabbing that disc and just funneling it back to his team, or it's on the opposite end, and we've got, I believe, either really awesome or Masco. Just both, all players just having that awareness to stay in that mid side and funnel it back to their team. But it can only be accomplished through forcing clears, which we have seen throughout this game. So hopefully, maybe less forced clears, more forced passes, because that's definitely what's going to turn around some of those points in these circumstances. But yeah, with that said, we're going to be heading into the third round here. Entropy and Talos taking it all the way to the third round. So yeah, I believe both teams are readying themselves up, and we'll be heading into it.
It's going to be intense, and it's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, you said it. Intense, fun, exciting. I don't know. Someone get the encyclopedia. Is Gishnishku here? I need to figure out some more words to describe it, but I'm always excited to watch these games. Entropy and Talos, definitely one of those. When you take teams that are closely ranked on that ladder, and they have that history of close games, it's always exciting to take heed of what they'll be performing next. So with that said, let's see what they can perform in this third round. 10 minutes on the clock as usual, and that's all I've got to say about this one. Let's head into it.
Yeah, it's Talos here with immediate winning that joust there as it goes down into Entropy's side. And Silent Archer getting that grab, and he's going to clear it, or try clear it down as Spencer and R1 now race for the disc, but Spencer lets slap it, just can't clear it out. It keeps bouncing back into their side. There's a Rocket Chan now with the disc, looking for some opportunities here. Gonna go for that long pass, but intercepted by R1 is Arn's gonna go for that clear, and it's just gonna fly down into a little diamond there as the rest of Talos now get onto Entropy's side.
I don't know if it's just me, but every time I see Rocket Chan with the disc, I have to hold myself back from singing that song. If anyone, do you know what I'm talking about, Punda? Come on, think about it. Think about it real hard, Rocket Chan.
No, I'm sorry.
Rocket Chan. I'm too old for all of you. I forgot. Okay,
Oh no,
usual
no,
Sayer with the disc. you know what I'm singing anyway. Usual Sayer with the disc now off the right shoulder, trying to find that pass through the
no.
bubble, and he will. Really awesome pass, really awesome shot. Unfortunately, not hitting that goal, and Chris now with the clear.
Yeah, is it Sound gonna maybe get possession, or maybe Muskoka as they race for that? Oh, but the stun there is Sound actually now with an open goal, I believe. No, but Newton Horse racing back, but it's gonna be a perhaps a 1-on-1. But Muskoka bet with that the revenge and the steal, as he's gonna try to find out what to do next.
Yeah, Entropy just weren't careful about those regrabs heading their way from Talos, and now Talos with the possession. So they might be able to open up this third round, which is different to those first two rounds with Entropy opening it up. So now potentially a different play here. Here come the passes from Talos. Hopefully they were listening, or they don't need to listen to me. They do it on their own. That's what they've practiced for. Here come the passes, but the intercept there from Spencer read it like a book and sent it through the left tunnel.
There's both teams now. It's a race of regrabs here. First team down can either win or get a goal or save the goal. There's Nienhorst now going for that pass down to R1 as Aaron gonna go to pass usual. Lots of passing here on Talos' side, which is very important part of the game. But stunned out Rocket Chan now with a disc, gonna go for a nice long pass, just bouncing with Bowtie, which was meant to go to Sound Archer, but now Sound Archer back in possession. He's gonna look around for some passes, maybe go for that 1-on-1. As he's gonna pass it down for maybe a cut pass that Spencer just misses that disc.
Yep. And Koala Kid in the chat, you win. You won the prize for guessing Rocket Man. Your prize is a third round of Echo VR. How what a coincidence. We've got one on right now. 7 minutes 10 on the clock and still 0-2-0 here. So a relatively quiet opening to this third round in terms of points, but not so quiet in terms of plays. I mean, the disc has made its way pretty much every single inch of the arena here. So now in the right tunnel will be really awesome. Sending that disc, getting intercepted there by Spencer. Spencer sending it right back towards that mid side. However, that bounce going to work against them. Now it's going to be usual resetting it towards Musco. And here come the passes from Talos. Off the right tunnel, the stack will be meeting Newton. However, Newton trying to grab onto with a disc, but Spencer stealing it right back. Another intercept here from Talos. And these two teams are just going to keep going back and forth until they can finally nail that pass and keep that possession. But they're going to be taking it all the way across the trench here now.
Yeah, it was one giant game of ping pong there. Is Arwen now going to go for the pass up to Newton, and Newton going to go, try to get that back pass, but Spencer there with the interception. But Muskoka playing some wonderful midfield there as Muskoka now with possession going to run up the field, look for some more passes. But Spencer, once again, another interception, going to go for a clear. It's going to do an unfortunate bounce and head back into their side, but Saunac with the disc, not being pressured. He's got the time. And we're 4 minutes in now, and no goals yet. This game's definitely very tight, as this may be our first goal.
And that may be your first caster's curse there, Punda. I mean, or caster's blessing if you're rooting for Entropy here. It's definitely it brings a tear to my eye that just happened. See, Palador passed it to me, and now I'm passing it to you. As soon as you said that, as soon as you mentioned that there were no scores. Bam! Instantly, Entropy find it, and you know what? Get used to it because that is going to happen a lot, and it's you've relieved me of my curse. Thank you very much, Punda. Now I can die peacefully. Reset.
I'm sorry, Talos, for that one. But here, it's gonna look maybe for another pass. It's gonna go up to Newton, but Newton just misses that. Everyone's missing that, and Aaron back in possession now. Maybe just a long-term self pass as Sound going for that clear. But intercepted by Muskoka once again. Muskoka just knows where to be, and you can just tell the future with that disc. Knows where it's going to end up every time. And now Muskoka trying to run up his way.
Yeah, well, I mean, you mentioned it earlier as well, Punda. I mean, just having that control in the mid side I mean, as long as you can keep forcing the opposing team to find those passes, you can find the shots, and Chris with yet another save. Definitely the backbone of the defense there. Now here comes the regrabs, and here comes the open goal, and Spencer with those 2 points. So, I mean, just doing very well in terms of sending that disc immediately onto the Talos side of things and finding those 2 points, taking advantage of that open goal. But yeah, we mentioned it earlier, that long pass all the way down to the bubble can do wonders. It definitely does beat the speed of players trying to find those regrabs in some circumstances. So with that said, now Talos with the just advantage, 4 minutes still on the clock and 4 minutes to beat. So still in a situation to win here.
Yeah, as Ahsoka just walking that disc up and going for that shot there, but yeah, just missing that as Spencer now in possession and actually going to try and find their clear down as that disc just bounces all the way down. It's a good clear for them as Spencer chases that disc and gets it, but stunned out by Muskoka there with just perfect placement by Muskoka, just being there at the right time as Chris now with the disc going to go for that long clear, and Soundnotch now going to walk it in. Getting stunned out by you just said Newton. I'm going to get that disc and just look for a clear.
The flyby stun coming there from Talos and making it work for them. Great play there indeed. And what we also saw earlier, I mean, Talos dedicating usual on the back line to stun out Chris in the goal, because they've had enough of Chris finding those saves. But I mean, obviously they haven't had enough of him just grabbing that disc and sending it back to his team in the mid side, because they just keep clearing it back to him. I mean, in some circumstances, you gotta wonder if either forcing that clear out or maybe trying to hold it on and send it back to a teammate. Regardless, anything but sending it right back to Chris, because it just results in a play against you, as we're seeing now. It will be Entropy with the possession. Chris Custom off the bow tie, sending it to the nest. Now Rocket Chan, like a rocket man, resetting it back towards the teammates there. Silent Archer. I told you I'm always going to think of Rocket Man when I say that. I'm sorry,
they're
Rocket
winning.
Chan.
Silent's just wasting time, though, as you can see. He's just, laid back. And
no.
We got Tigogi there, though, because Nia now, with the possession, that he's going to clear that downfield. And
yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I was just wanting to quickly interject there. But yeah, go ahead, please.
I was to say, usually now the disc is going to go up in Newton, or Soundnotch again, that disc. It's going to clear that all the way downfield. But guess who's there? Talos is. Muskoka was there, but
Talos is Talos have been definitely doing well in terms of just fighting their way back up to that bubble. And I mean, here we see again another play in the bubble, and I mean, if there's going to be any score, it's going to be going off Chris, and that's what we've seen here. 2 points, a self goal there, unfortunately bouncing off the goalie's head. But yeah, 2 points for Talos now, and 1 minute 35 in the game. So still a game to win here for Talos. Entropy still holding on with this just advantage now. I mean, we saw it earlier, Entropy just holding on to that point lead and just taking their time with it. And although it is a respectable approach, you have to be very careful, because regrabs will come in just like that, and they are going to steal that disc and send it right back in your face. So you got to be very careful in those situations.
Yeah, and here comes Spencer now going to that clear through trench, as that this is going to bounce around, and Talos' side is Newton Horse now, looking with that disc. Looking for some passes. They know that they need another goal in the next minute to tie up the game or even win it. Here's Soundnotch now with that disc. They've got that goalie there, and Narwan just on the chase, and both of them get stunned out here, and Spencer's going to take that disc, go for that 1-1 and get in that goal.
Game-winning goal there from Spencer. And how iconic. The first score of the game from Spencer in the top pocket, and potentially the last score of the game here from Spencer, the top pocket, both sealing the opening of the first round and sealing the ending of the third round. Spencer, you're doing some crazy stuff there, mate. Appreciate it. Great stuff around the board here. But I mean, Talos now trying to find those last few points to have their final say in this third round. However, Entropy grabbing onto it. Another back of... I mean, if this... I mean, talk about a final testimony of how this game has been. Just a lot of ping pong action in the mid side, and Chris not letting any disc getting to the goal, even if though they're gonna win the game. No, you will not shame the man's name. Chris doing so well even in the last few seconds there, but Entropy will be your victors.
That was definitely a very close game there, especially in the last few minutes there, where Talos is just racing to try to find an extra go for the either an OT or the win. Yeah, all around, it was an amazing game. Lots of amazing plays. Great passing as well from both teams there, especially Talos, you know, rolling up, and a giant shout out to Chris Custom with 10 saves this game.
Yeah, 10 saves. All were exciting to watch. Yeah, as you said as well, I mean, Talos, great passes. That was also insane to watch. I mean, they were able to take it up so many times inside that bubble, and Chris just had that final save. But if it wasn't for that, I mean, Talos did have the right idea in the end. I mean, they dedicated players to stunning out that goalie, and that is a sign of respect, Chris. So don't be annoyed by that at all. If the team have to dedicate a player to stunning you, it definitely is a sign of respect. So huge props to both sides there. Even Snicket, we didn't get to see that player within the final 2 rounds. However, did find a few good saves as well in the first round. Snicket did great plays in general. However, from all players, yeah, a great game in general. I mean, I want to say I half expected a result in terms of how close the game was. Taking a look at the previous games as well with Entropy and Talos, it's just been quite back and forth. We saw so many plays in the mid side as well, like Punda said earlier, just a lot of ping pong action. And you love to see it. I mean, you're always going to wonder what's going to happen next, who's going to be taking that disc, and pretty much what I mentioned in the start of the stream. You never know what's going to happen next in the Oceanic region. So with that said, yeah, Entropy taking away the game 2-1 from Talos. What a game it was. Thank you. Huge shout out to everybody in the chat stopping by. Too many to count. But yeah, a great game in general. Huge shout out as well to KitKatastrophe on the camps. We also had Punda on the cast with me. And that's going to be all from me. Punda, any last words?
No, man, that was a very great game. It was nice and close, and I really enjoyed watching that.
Yep. All right. That's it from me. Be happy, be healthy, be safe, be good to each other. Wait a minute. That's not my line. Anyway, see you later, mates.
Season 3 of VRML Echo Arena is brought to you by HyperX, Rebuff Reality, Asterion Products, ProTube VR, VR Cover, Fixed Gaming, and VRware.net.